Hello all, let's have a quick walkthrough on the major functionalities released in the latest Endeavor version of QUBZ. One of the major features released include management of real-time OLAP cubes. QUBZ supports creation of real-time OLAP cubes, enabling querying of streaming data with sub-second latency. Streaming data processing means faster feedback, and decision makers can make more frequent and flexible planning adjustments. QUBZ facilitates real-time OLAP cubes by using the power of streaming receiver clusters. In order to facilitate the real-time streaming of OLAP cubes, receivers must be maintained in a healthy state, which can be seen in the Configure Streaming Receiver Cluster screen. Go to Administration and click on Configure Streaming Receiver Clusters. A streaming receiver is a worker node and is managed by a streaming coordinator. Some of the responsibilities of streaming receivers are to ingest real-time events, build base cuboids locally, and answer the query request for a partial data which was assigned to itself. The collection of all streaming receivers is referred to as a receiver cluster. A replica set is a group of streaming receivers. Replica set is the minimum unit of task assignment, so that means all receivers in the one replica set will do the same task. When a receiver shuts down unexpectedly, but all the replica sets have at least one accessible receiver, then the receiver cluster is still queryable and data won't be lost. Receivers are needed in a healthy state for creation and maintenance of real-time OLAP cubes. Users can also add new receiver clusters, edit and delete receiver clusters. The rate at which a receiver is capable of ingesting data and the state of the receiver can also be seen here. The receivers must be in a healthy state for the real-time streaming of data. The lead streaming receivers are marked with a star icon in the receiver cluster block. Next, users can configure real-time streaming of a database table to the data source using the Configure Real-Time Streaming screen. Select the required project and click Data Sources. Click on the Configure Real-Time Streaming button on the top right corner of the Data Sources screen. Configure the Kafka settings and the Bootstrap server details. Click Next. In the Streaming Table tab, specify the JSON stream record in the text area of the JSON parsing block, and click Parse. Configure the required details of the database and click Submit. The new real-time database table configured for the data source appears within the default data source. Here, a new database table, Realtime Demo 2, is streamed and configured successfully. Next, you can click on Cubes to view the details of the real-time OLAP cube. Users have the facility to view, enable, or disable, edit, and delete existing real-time cubes using the cube screen. By default, the real-time cube appears disabled and needs to be enabled by the user. It is also possible to view the live streaming information of real-time cubes in the Streaming tab. Another major feature released is the creation of models and cubes visually. After successfully selecting data sources for the project, users now have the ability to define models visually using the Visual Model screen. Click on Models and then click on Create Model and select Model Visual Designer option. Users can drag and adjust the lookup tables and fact table in the canvas based on requirements. Similarly, users can now define cubes visually for the selected project using the Cube screen. Click on Cubes and then click on Create Cube and select the Cube Visual Designer option. You can drag the required model to be used for the cube to the canvas and select the required columns for the fact and lookup tables. Click Save to save the visual cube. Users can now run queries of streaming data with sub-second latency and view results with a quick response time using the Insight screen. With this, we come to the end of the video on the major functionalities released in the latest Endeavor version of QUBZ. Thanks for watching.